100 meters, and the man that has absolutely owned this event over the last couple of years, David Rudisha, world champ, world record holder, Lewis.
Rudisha is just an unbelievable talent. That 1:40.101, I remember Otto Bolden talking about Usain Bolt's video game times. That's what the time is for me in the 800 meters, but he is an absolute dominant figure, has run 1:43.46 back in March, looking to better that here in New York today.
And there is David Rudisha, and still very young, just 22 years of age. Abubakar Kaki from the Sudan, also in the field, was the silver medalist to Rudisha in Daegu at the World Championships.
And Kaki was the winner at the Prefontaine Classic last week. He ran 1:43.71, a two-time world indoor champion, and Kaki loves to compete. I'm really looking forward to see what happens in the stretch run of this 800.
And there is formerly of the University of Virginia, but only 20 years of age, Robbie Andrews.
And he announced in March that he was giving up his final 2 years of collegiate eligibility at Virginia to turn professional. He has done that. And Robbie Andrews, who likes to come from behind the last 200 meters, is showing that he is a potential Olympian for the 800 and the 1500 meters.
There you see Alfred Kirwayego. He is the defending champion, also from Kenya. And there is Andrews being introduced to this overflow crowd at the Icon Stadium on Randall's Island. Really a wonderful day for track and field, mostly under beautiful blue skies, now a little bit of cloud cover. And Abubakar Kaki, how remarkable Rudisha has been, including finals and preliminaries. At one time, Lewis won this event 34 times in a row.
Unbelievable. And you know, Paul, if you stood next to him and you talked to him, he is very soft-spoken. You would never know that he's the type of guy that could come out on the track and turn into a beast, which is exactly what happens over 800 meters. But very aware of history. He wants to be one of the only men ever, as he gets a nice applause from the crowd, to not only be the world record holder in the 800 meters, but also win the Olympic gold medal. He wants to do that twice.
There is Matthew Shearer. He'll be the pacemaker for this event. And I was reading an article about David Rudisha, and he thinks it's possible for him to go under 140.
I don't know what to say about that. Would I be crazy enough to say that's not possible?
That would be crazy. And we're underway. 2 laps of the track, starting lanes until they've completed 2 turns, and then they will collapse to the inside.
Well, the Rabbit is going to get out and try and take them through at a very quick 400-meter pace. But this is really, for David Rudisha, when he steps on the track, it's all about him. And he's not running to try and run a good time or beat it. He's out here to slay everybody. He has just a dominating performance when he gets on the track. There he is in that orange singlet out there on the right. On the outside, moving up next to Kaki.
This is the first time David Rudisha has ever been to the United States, and we welcome him to New York City. Shearer, the pacemaker, up front, followed by Rudisha. And Abubakar Kaki is going to stay right there as best he can with the world champion and world record holder.
Rudisha once again showing that dominance and relaxation. Look at how everyone else is giving him the distance as they come through in 49.9. That's a decent time. But they've already given him too much space. It's like, we are bowing to you because we know how great you are, as Kaki drops out.
Abubakar Kaki now trailing now by 20 meters, 25 meters. And this is David Rudisha all by himself.
Actually, Kaki dropped out, and look at this gap on the backstretch. Robbie Andrews of the United States, who shows to be one of the promising 800-meter runners, is nowhere to be seen. Abubakar Kaki is showing everyone right now why he's the world record holder and why he is the favorite for Olympic gold in London. Look at the crowd. They see it. They recognize it. They feel it.
David Rudisha running by himself, except for the 5,000 people right in front of us, Lewis. Rudisha, look for the time. Challenging the world record.
Oh, my goodness.
140.174. 63 100ths off the world record running alone.
Oh, my goodness. And if you had a chance like I did to sit down and talk with him yesterday, there's no way in the world you would think that a human being with this much peace around him could have this type of a performance. This is just unbelievable. The fastest time ever run in the United States. And Rudisha has just told the world, forget about it. The gold is mine. Wow.
If you don't follow track, well, I'll leave this to you, Lewis. An unbelievable performance, but also doing it by himself. Let's go down to Dwight Stones with David Rudisha.
All right, Paul. David, I have to ask you, was it your intention to run a time like this when you came to New York?
First of all, coming to New York was fantastic for me. It was the first time, and I wanted to run the first time ever in U.S. So
Running this fast, so far in advance of the Olympic Games, what can we expect for you to run in London?
Well, I have trained and I know I'm in good shape, and I'm expecting to perform well in London.
Well, you certainly gave New York a great gift. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
David Rudisha absolutely owns the